Well, that didn't start as smoothly as it normally does. Welcome. It is great to have you here on Damon Bruce Plus. For whatever reason, the opening video there didn't exactly roll the way it was supposed to. That's cool. We don't need it. We're underway and we are broadcasting. It is great to have you here. Thanks so much for watching Damon Bruce Plus. Thank you to Ike's for being today's sponsor. And oh, look at this. It is National Sandwich Month. And Ike's sent me a nice little mug. I love that. Here's a little sip of the day. Right off the rip. That is absolutely delicious. Thank you so much to Ike's for the new mug. Thanks to all of you for being here. And look, this is one of those days where I'm not going to waste much of your time. Number one, it's a gorgeous day outside. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful here in downtown San Francisco. So go get some of that if you can. I hope you get it soon. I really, really do. I hope it's beautiful where you are, no matter where you're watching, Bay Area or otherwise. But I'm going to start with the 49er concern today. And then we're going to talk about something I really like to practice. And then we're going to talk about why I think I'm all done going to training camp practices for the rest of the year. Number one, the Denver Broncos are going to give us a preseason game to actually watch this weekend. And once you got those, it's tough to go back to practice in Santa Clara and say, oh, yeah, I'm learning a lot here. Once you get games, practice doesn't do very much. And I've always said, look, man, I ain't here to cover practice. I'm here to cover football games. But look, at 49ers practice just yesterday, I filmed this rep. This is CJ West taking on Jake Brendel, the 49ers starting center. And you tell me if you're comfortable with Jake Brendel as your starting center. This is a rookie. It's manhandling. Absolutely manhandling. Now, you can go back every month. You can hear me do shows about Drew Damon, who was in Atlanta. The 49ers did not turn that free agent. He ends up in Chicago, part of a very well rebuild along their offense. Manhandled by a rookie. And I am officially a little bit worried about the center of the offensive line. I've been worried about the center of the offensive line for well over a year now. I remain a little worried about that. I think you need to be a little bit worried about that. I think the fact that this team's depth chart right now, you've got behind Jake Brendel, it's Matt Hennessy. And then Drake Nugent has not exactly established himself as the man in waiting for this job or the next man up. So I am officially, a little concerned when it comes to Jake Brendel being this team center. Here's the thing. It's not that he sucked. He's just average. And when you're average, you need to be replaced in the NFL. B-Star003 says Jake Brendel sucks. Last year, it was a problem. Kyle and John didn't address this offensive line. It's not good. Look, I'm going to agree with you. It's not good. It's not great. What do we got here? Hey, Damon. Good to see you, Otis. Always good to see you. Thank you, SF Indigo. Smash the like button. Do it now. Get aggressive. Wow, embarrassing. Yeah, old Brendel there. That's not good. Matt, by the way, you heard the Guy Haberman's going to be filling in. No one's replacing Greg Papa while Greg is battling cancer. Guy is filling in. You can't replace Greg Papa. But he's going to be filling in on KPIX, I think, on TV, doing those 49ers games. And I'm very happy for Guy Haberman. And obviously, all first thoughts are with Greg Papa at all times here. But I told Guy Haberman 2 years ago that he was about 5 years away from doing NFL games for a network. This is an official first step towards that happening for Guy, and just another massive thing in his career that I'm excited about. So I like Guy an awful lot. He's really good behind the microphone as a play-by-play man, and I wish him the best of luck, but I wish all the luck in the world to Greg to have a speedy recovery and get back as soon as humanly possible. Don't know who the official regular season on the radio replacement will be. Guy's done a lot more TV play-by-play than radio play-by-play for football, so I don't know if that's a smooth transition for him. It's two totally different things. We'll see what actually happens. But, man, I really like Guy. He's, beyond being a good guy, if I didn't know him, if I've never met him, if we hadn't, become friends working together, I'd be like, that guy's really good. That guy. that person is really good at their job. I think he's fantastic. He strikes the right line between a straight up, no frills attached to it, play by play, right down the middle broadcast with nice little factoids and funny things sprinkled in, but never corny. I mean, Haberman's solid. He really is. He's 5 years away from being that, C or D team on CBS or Fox, or maybe NFL Network. I really believe that. So I'm concerned about the 49ers offensive line. I have been concerned. I remain concerned. I'm concerned about the depth. I'm concerned about the starting center, and I'm concerned about the depth everywhere else. It feels a bit like that was an unattended to problem in free agency and in the draft, and we'll see how it all shakes out. You, if you're a 49er fan, need to hope I'm wrong about that for sure. What I can tell you is if you, like me, have been unimpressed to this point with Ricky Pearsall, here's the good news out of yesterday's training camp. For the first time ever, Ricky Pearsall is a healthy San Francisco 49er. He gets shot, then he gets back. It's incredible that he was able to get back out on the football field at all. He comes back out. His body's not up to speed. He kind of gets hurt again. And it wasn't until the very end of this year that he put a couple of decent, at least, games together, but still no one knows. He comes into this camp early on. He's hurt. He's dinged. He's not out there. And when he is, it just sort of looked unimpressive. Now Ricky Pearsall's healthy. Ricky Pearsall starred in yesterday's 49er Day 11 training camp practice. He was fantastic. Now, maybe this is an indictment of the 49ers secondary. We'll worry about that a little bit later on. But just seeing it from Ricky, I've been waiting to see it from him. And I think you have too. I finally saw what Ricky Pearsall looks like when he's healthy. And that seems to be a player that you should get a little bit excited about. He looked fantastic. Demarcus Robinson continued to impress. George Kittle always remains impressive. Again, I wouldn't have George Kittle have another non-real regular season snap underneath him this year. I would put George Kittle in bubble wrap right now and say, we'll see you week 1 in Seattle, buddy. But man, Pearsall looked good. And that's officially the sip of the day right there. That was perfect. That was officially perfect. And oh, by the way, if you would like a perfect lunch today, you get yourself to Ike's. Not only is in the corner of the logo, he's on the cup today, and he has got an incredible sandwich for you. And I need to let you know about the deal that he's got going on right now. Online, you use the promo code BOGO50. Buy one, get one for 50% off. BOGO50 is the promo code to use online between now and Sunday. And when you buy one sandwich, you get your second sandwich of equal or lesser value for half price. Online only, and only one per order. But Ike's is giving you a half a sandwich. So you go ahead and you get 2 sandwiches when you get the second sandwich for half price. Use the promo code BOGO50 and do it online. Thank you so much, Ike. Make sure you sign up for that Love Rewards program. And again, this is what I look like as a sandwich. I'm a lot better looking sandwich than I am a person. And if you want the sexiest, best poured Guinness in all of San Francisco, you get yourself to the Dublin or West Portal. Maybe you're at the Dublin or West Portal now. Are they open this early? Probably not. That'd be aggressive. But we got top of the 6th in Pittsburgh. Pirates on top of the Giants 2-1. Giants used up all their runs last night. Scored a lot. It's just like the Giants to play really well after they decide to be sellers at the trade deadline, isn't it? Anyways, cheers to Ike's. Cheers to you. Cheers to Sip of the Day. Cheers to the Dubliner. Cheers to everyone. Cheers to Ricky Pearsall for looking so good. And cheers to concerns about the San Francisco 49ers. It is a different NFL than it was just a few years ago where football trades were less likely. I don't remember my childhood, anyone ever talking about big football trades outside of you know, the Dallas Cowboys traded Eric Dickerson for what? That was something else. And it was unlikely that your favorite team would make a trade to address an immediate issue this close to the season. I don't know if the NBA's player empowerment era is quite taken over the NFL, but what I do know is that players throw their weight around like manhole covers in a way that they used to not exactly throw their weight around. And sometimes they do get what they want. Terry McLaurin wants out of Washington. Now, if I'm Washington, I wouldn't let Terry McLaurin go. There's a big question, like, can the 49ers get involved here? Because the 49ers, I do think, need another receiver. They're not going to get Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen signed with the Chargers. I've been saying sign Keenan Allen for over a month. You know how easier it would have been to sign Keenan Allen for like $8 or $10 million than it would be to go through all the mechanics and hoopla that it would take to get a Terry McLaurin trade and then extension done? I mean, you're running out of man hours before the season starts. You don't have time to be working complex trades. You don't have really time to be reshuffling the lineup that much now. If they were going to trade for Terry McLaurin, the right time to do that would have been about 60 days ago. That would have been the right time to trade for Terry McLaurin. The right time to do it means it's already done. The right time to sign Keenan Allen was before the Chargers were like, yeah, we're just going to do that. He was out there all that time, and the Niners have been, just working in camp nobodies. And it's one thing to fill out a training camp roster with camp bodies and nobodies. It's another to absolutely still need, I think, a veteran quality starting wide receiver in the slot. McLaurin, I thought Keenan Allen was perfect to be a 1-year rental. You're not committing huge money to a wide receiver, which in the overall arcing of team building isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do to anybody. You don't want to be giving a wide receiver that much cash. That ship has sailed. And I really don't think that the Terry McLaurin trade ship is going to be docking in San Francisco Bay this late in the year. I don't. What it would cost to get that done? I don't know. Rigged, Ayuk, never happy. Again, I'm sick and tired of hearing about what Brandon Ayuk might want, doesn't want. He needs to help as much as he can as an injured player, get young guys prepared. And if he really is that unhappy here, like, dude, just shows you the money can't buy happiness. You got all the money you need. All the money you'd ever need for the rest of your life. Don't tell me you're still unhappy. I was just talking about this with Kruger and Sammy on Wake Up this morning. We did a little bit of a special Wake Up on a Wednesday. And yeah, I am sick and tired of players, getting their money and still being upset. Not that we've heard Brandon Ayuk is upset, but we do know that Brandon Ayuk, hasn't done much to show his love for. The Pirates catcher just took it in the nuts. Is that Joey Bart? It is. Woo! Oh, yeah, he's breathing deep. He's like, whew. Oh, my God. Is he wearing a cup? Yes, he's wearing a cup. If he wasn't wearing a cup, he would be in the hospital right now. You know where that hit him? D's nuts? Yes, definitely. Got him right in the Barts. Keenan Allen bailed out Caleb. He was a no-brainer. It was so easy to do. Again, if all it would have cost you was money, do it. Money's easy to find. There'll be more of it. What's hard to do is execute a trade this late in the offseason for a player and then integrate him into an offense that he's not been a part of this late in the offseason after you rework a huge deal. It's just, there's too many moving pieces there. I don't want to say I'm smarter than these guys, but I would have signed Drew Dolman as a free agent, and I would have added Terry McLaurin, or I would have added Keenan Allen as a free agent, and I think a wide receiver headache is going to be had this year at one point by the 49ers, and a center headache is going to be had at one point this year by the 49ers. I thought I had the antidote and the aspirin for that headache. But what do I know? What the hell do I know? Corporal Tez says, I'm confused. It's already been said that he's unhappy with beat writers and content creators talking about trading him all the time, and now they're done with him. And he said he's cool with this team. But this is Terry McLaurin coming back into the mix on his end. So, we'll see. By the way, if you want people to stop talking about you, don't start the topic months ago. There was a way to be discreet about all of this. Brandon Ayuk chose social media violence, and it hasn't all the way calmed down. It's better. There's no doubt. Again, cheers. Hump Day turned into Humo Day. Don't know how, don't know why, but it did here on the Plus. Thank you so much. And thank you if you are currently one of our 46,000 subscribers. We got to 46,000 today. And here's the goal. I want 50,000 by the bye week. That's aggressive. I know how my channel normally grows. And, let me tell you, every single one of my followers is a real, actual person. I certainly hope. I have never bought subscribers. I've never tried to do anything to rig my, how much attention is being paid to my channel. It's just, this is au natural, real and spectacular. 46,000 of you. Thank you so very. I remember when we were sitting here at 5,000, wondering if this was ever going to work at all, and what the hell am I doing? And let's get to 50 by the bye week. In order for that to happen, what I really need is everybody who is watching right now, who's not subscribing, to hit subscribe, hit like, hit notify, all those good things. But there is no greater advertising than word of mouth advertising. Next time you're sitting with a group of football fans, be like, are you subscribing to Damon Bruce Plus? If you're a Niner fan, if you're a West Coast sports fan, you probably should. There's some weird things coming out of that guy's mouth. It's usually not dull. There you go. What an endorsement for the show. It's usually not dull. Cheers. Thank you. So the Giants are playing right now. I'm basically done going to 49ers training camp. I appreciate the access that they've granted me. The 49ers don't need to let me back down there, but for my reputation and being nice to me, and they have. Everything I have asked of the 49ers in terms of access to training camp, they have granted me, and I am deeply appreciative of that. Now let me shit all over training camp. Because just the way the fields are set up, it's almost impossible to see what's going on. For the media, for the fans that attend, unless you are a coach standing right next to the team, it's hard. As I said to Larry and Sammy this morning on Wake Up, the single most common question asked this offseason among 49ers, beat writers, content creators, and anyone who is down in Santa Clara, from all of our friends that we know and a whole bunch of people we don't know. And, the number one question is, who caught that? Who caught that? Who threw that? Who had that PBU? Who broke up that pass? Who had that pick? You can't see half of the shit that you're looking at, even down in practice. Football, more than any other sport, has become the ultimate television sport, which is why it works on television so well. It works on television so well for a myriad of reasons. One of them is it's officially better to watch a football game on TV than it is even in person. In person, you get to be a part of that atmosphere, and that's the payoff. But trying to pay attention to what's happening is harder to do in person when you've got a good seat, much less when you're standing behind a wall of football players waiting for their next rep, and you can't really see what's going on in front of them. It is easier to cover the NFL on television than it is in person. It's why I don't go to regular season games anymore. I have more access to more information sitting right here doing a live stream watch party with you than I have sitting in the press box. If I need to rewind and watch a play, I can do that here. I can't do that in the press box. Oh, by the way, this is why I need you to hit like and subscribe, because I hope you plan on being back here Saturday. We are going to do a live stream watch party for a preseason game. And I understand that this is basically like the YouTube equivalency of gambling on preseason football. Like, this is degenerates only if you're coming in for the preseason live stream watch party. But I do know many of you are lovely degenerates, so I hope you plan on being here. I really do. That's going to be Saturday, 5:30 West Coast, 49ers Broncos kicking off. Let's see. Yeah, going to a live game makes me want to pay $90 for a watered down beer. Again, the price points in there, it's rough. It's rough. Oh, Postman says, hey, 95.7 The Game has 118,000 followers and only 300 people sitting in that room watching. Well, we don't have very many people in the room today. Again, not a big day. The thumbnail included a center. That's not a sexy topic. We're not even at 75 today. It's a humble, small little audience here today, but this is my actual audience. This is real. I didn't go out and buy a whole bunch of subscribers that are bots that never show up to watch anything. 95.7 The Game did. Let them. Let them. Yeah, we get the real ones in here. Alexander Boy Productions. Wasn't it Alexander Boy Productions just a little while ago? Did you change? I think you might have changed it. Did you lose weight? Did you drop an Alexander? Now you're just Alexander. I want to see Jordan, James, and Watkins. I like the Jordans. I do. First of all, Jordan Watkins is going to be playing wide receiver for the 49ers this year. They were working him out yesterday on special teams, which means he's going to be on the team. If you're going to be this team's fourth or fifth wide receiver, you're going to have to play special teams. Watkins looked good and comfortable. Jordan James is a talented enough running back to where, look, you're going to want it's a less is more season from Christian McCaffrey. I think he's in the mix. Now he's going to be Garendo absolutely needs to be played. Patrick Taylor Jr. looks good. This team, how about this? I've got concerns at wide receiver depth. I've got concerns at offensive line depth. I've got concerns at cornerback depth. I have zero concerns about running back depth. Zero. Now, if Christian McCaffrey were to end up injured, the concerns would start to bloom. But I actually like who's behind McCaffrey. I wouldn't say, yeah, they can do it just like McCaffrey, because no, I don't think anybody can do it like McCaffrey in this league. He is a special football player, and he looks fantastic. He looks healthy. He looks totally unchanged from the guy that was the offensive player of the year just 2 years ago. But I really do like this team's running back room. Zothmus saying, guess what? I am a degenerate, and I will be there Saturday. Thank you, Zothmus. You're my kind of guy. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. I cannot be bought. Thank you, Chef A. No, we had to earn Chef A. You don't want to go and buy a Chef A. You want her to write you a letter, a handwritten letter that makes you, it's one of the nicest things I've ever been sent in my career. I love you, Chef A. Thank you so much. By the way, subscribers can be bought. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Damon, can we bottle pull for every turnover just for you, Hand Banana? It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go enjoy it. The Duchess, as you know, is in town. I think we're going to go out and grab a little lunch, enjoy a gorgeous day in San Francisco, which means, even though it's 11:24 a.m. right now, this wouldn't be the most responsible thing we could do right here and now, but football is coming, and we are excited about that, which means, a bottle pull kind of works. You gotta love a pre-breakfast bottle pull. I haven't eaten anything yet today. Not a cornflake, not an English muffin, not a croissant. But I've already had a sip of whiskey, so, we're ahead of schedule, baby. Look, it's never a wrong time to make the right choice. This brings us back to Terry McLaurin. If you were to make a trade of Ayuk or Jennings or whatever, and you did make that trade, I wouldn't like the huge contract that you'd have to give McLaurin to satisfy his contractual demands. But the way that I would look at it was like, that's tax you're paying in the future to be ready to win weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this season. And I'm going to tell you right now, all you got to do is look at the 49ers schedule. If the 49ers start 4-0, that will provide them a cushion to where things can actually go wrong, and they're still a playoff team. The single greatest offseason acquisition that the 49ers made was getting this schedule. The schedule will be football friendly as an NFL schedule can get to the 49ers all freaking season long. It will keep the door open if injuries or something, whatever could possibly go wrong, feels like it's going to shut the door. This schedule is going to hold it open. I don't think I want to pay Terry McLaurin Ayuk money, but you'd be getting a player that is coming off a great year. You'd be getting a player who would be available instantly. And you'd be getting a player that, again, I think that some of the concerns we have about a player crossing into their 30s, their early 30s, that's still, you officially, because look, sports are like this. Here's your career, you're taking off, and even though progress isn't linear, you reach the peak of your career, then you start to level off, and hopefully you're high enough to where the peak of your career is nice. The crest of your hill is above the other hills, and you're very happy with where you are. And then when it starts to go wrong, very rarely is the decline as slow as the ascent was. It's usually you fall right off a cliff, especially in football. You fall off a cliff. I think that cliff is now further out than it used to be. Athletes take better care of 31 is the new 28. I think so in football. 31's the new 28. You're still pretty young in your career. You really are. Guys take better care of themselves than ever before. The trade for Terry McLaurin, if there were to be one, should have happened in a time machine a month and a half ago. If they are going to do it, you're doing it first thing next week, right? You're thinking about the Denver Broncos right now. You're not probably making a big trade right before this game. But, you could. But this is probably not going to happen. Again, there's nothing easier that could have been done. Nothing easier that could have been done than just, guess what? Guess what? You know what we're going to do? Guess what we're going to do? We're just going to sign Keenan Allen. We're going to make things easy that way. That's what I would have done. By the way, this isn't a shot at you at all, Jacob, because it's something that I've seen attached to the all gas, no brakes. I hate that saying. That's my least favorite saying in sports. I hear it everywhere. I hear it attached to everything. All gas, no brakes. So basically, what you're trying to do is compare your situation to a race car situation. Well, the greatest race car drivers and most successful race cars, and usually the one who crosses in the finish line first, are experts at braking. Knowing when and how to brake is part of how you go as fast as possible. All gas, no brakes means you crash. I hate that saying. All gas, no brakes. Oh, so you crash and die at the end of this. So congratulations. All gas, no Febreze. That sounds like Jillian criticizing the studio after I come. She's like, it smells like coffee and farts in here. Or she'll come in here and she'll smell like, she's like, it smells like coffee and boy in here, which I'm assuming boy is just like another word you find in a thesaurus for farts. I get it. Yeah, you can add touch grass to that list. I don't like that saying either. Go touch grass. What do you mean? Like, how about outside? Just go outside. Go touch grass. Zophmus. Thelma and Louise went all gas, no brakes. Have you noticed there has not been a sequel? You can't have a sequel. By the way, spoiler. Spoiler here. Brad Pitt's got abs that make you want to hate yourself, and Thelma and Louise die at the end. Yeah, it's just another way of saying playing with your hair on fire. That's great. But if you want to have great hair, your hair cannot be on fire. So maybe we shouldn't even use that either. All gas, no brakes. I mean, why don't you just have the saying, just crash. Just crash. We got Giants baseball underway, still 2-1 Pittsburgh, top of the 7th. Hey, ball get out of the infield? No. Oh, safe at first? No, out at first. Oh, and what do you know? Encarnacion, who just got called up and is in this game, is grabbing the back of his hamstring instantly. So he just pulled something. Here comes Dave Greshner. Dave Greshner, they got that, somebody's hurt trot to him coming out of the dugout. Super duper. What this 49ers team needs is a good, clean game where no one gets hurt against the Denver Broncos. Hopefully they get it. Hopefully you plan on being here on Saturday to enjoy it. Hopefully you plan on getting an Ike's sandwich today. And if you do it online and use the promo code BOGO50 for a buy one sandwich, get another of equal or lesser value for half off. It is National Sandwich Month. Check out our good friends at the Dubliner. Always get yourself to the Dubliner in West Portal. You'll be happy that you did. Are you ready for a little Today in History? Again, I'm about to go outside and I'm going to go touch grass. I'm going to enjoy a beautiful day. You enjoy a beautiful day. Everybody enjoy a beautiful day if you can. I heard it's raining up in Seattle. Sorry. Christopher, though, says, hey, teach us some history, DB. I will. Oh, Michael. Hold on. Michael Chan says, Giants, no gas, no brake, all neutral. That's good. I like that. All neutral, baby. All neutral. All right, here we go. Today in history. And then everyone go outside and have a great lunch. We start with happy birthdays. Happy birthday to the Admiral. David Robinson is 60 years old today. Happy birthday, David Robinson, one of sports' greatest gentlemen of all time. I'm telling you, get yourself a Navy boy. Them Navy boys are good boys. They really are, man. You get somebody cut from that military cloth, the amount of yes, sir, no, sir, please, and thank yous that you get, it's so impressive every single time. Salute to David Robinson. Happy birthday. Zophmus. Hey, Damon, go touch grass in the ganja jar. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, we need to put a little bit more grass in that ganja jar. You want to help out with that? Memberships, supers available. Thank you very much for watching. Happy birthday to Michelle. Is it Yeoh? Is that how you pronounce her last name? She was the woman in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. She's phenomenal in that. She was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She is fantastic. Love her in movies. Happy birthday to her. She's 63 years old. All right. So it took a long time to, I guess, get the first copies of the Constitution out, because today in 1787, I mean, 1776 is when we agreed. We a country? This is a constitution? Yeah. Well, today in 1787, 60 copies of the Constitution of the United States were delivered to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. Hey, things worked out for a really long time. I think they're trying to make sure that the Constitution doesn't even really exist anymore in some cases. So, fight the power. Today in 1890, at the Auburn prison in New York, William Kemmler was the very first person to be executed by electric chair. Congratulations, William. You've won at least 2 races in life. Everybody wins that race when you were the sperm to the egg. That's the first race you win. That's how you got here. And then he's the first to get to the electric chair. So that guy officially won 2 races. By the way, how would you like to be that guy? I mean, first of all, I don't think there's ever a good time to be strapped into an electric chair. But I know the worst possible time has got to be the first. Like, what if they got the wattage wrong? What if in the Green Mile, they forget to put the wet sponge under the shocking helmet and you just set your hair on fire? There's a real hair on fire scenario for you, right? That's hair on fire. Congratulations. First man electrocuted. SF Indigo coming on in with a little super. Today in history, it's a feast for transfiguration. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we got going on today. This is hey, you know what? Anything that ended World War II is technically good, but the way it had to go about was scary as hell. Today in 1945, little boy was dropped on Hiroshima. Hiroshima, say it however you want. But never forget what happened today at 8:16 a.m. when the Enola Gay dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. The single deadliest 5 seconds in recorded human history. 70,000 people were evaporated in 5 seconds. It's a monster. It's a monster. That's a big moment in world history, boy. As big of a moment as there is, right? Changed the entire way the planet functions. Hiroshima, today in 45. Today in 1964, I would like to know why they had to do this. There was a tree that was at least, according to the science in 1964, at 4,862 years old. It was in Nevada. It was called Prometheus, a bristlecone pine. It was known as the world's oldest tree, and for whatever reason, they cut it down today in 1964. What happened to Prometheus? Was Prometheus hit by lightning? Was it rotting? Was it a dead tree? Why'd they have to get rid of it? I don't know. I was going to Google about it, but then I typed in Prometheus, and they're like, well, here's an Alien sequel. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the Prometheus, the tree. I'm constantly talking to my 2 boys, Jack and Ozzy, about how to act in public, how to have conversations, how to introduce yourself. I'm teaching Jack. I said, always be the first person to introduce yourself. It's kind of a power move, but beyond that, it's the friendly and right thing to do. It breaks the ice, and you don't, it removes the awkward of, you don't know who I am, and I don't know. Always be the first to extend your hand, Jack, and introduce yourself. He's 6 years old. I'm trying hard to teach him this. Ozzy, he's only 4. We're a little bit, he's 2 years away from really needing to know this. But I keep on telling boys, whenever you talk to somebody or whenever you get to know somebody, remember their name. Because everybody's favorite sound is their own name. As somebody who did 1 billion radio interviews, whenever my radio guest would use my name God, it sounded like we were best friends. I remember the very first time I ever had Bob Costas on the radio. And he was like, "Hi, Damon, it's great to be on with you." And then like 3 times during the interview, he would call me Damon. And, I had buddies texting me, like friends, saying, "Dude, I didn't know you knew Costas like this." And I wrote back, I'm like, "I don't, but this is how much of a pro Bob is. He knows that when you use the host's name, it just makes you sound like the interview is going better." Somebody's trying to say, I pronounced Nevada wrong. It's Nevada Iata, not Nevada Iota. That's the way I know it. I thought I said it right. Big Brick 84. I think I got it. Anyways, everybody's name is their favorite sound. So you're going to want to use people's names to them. They love it. Today in 1966, in a post-fight interview, Howard Cosell honored Muhammad Ali's wishes to be called Muhammad Ali instead of Cassius Clay. And that created a bond between Cosell and Muhammad Ali that would last throughout both of their careers. And it absolutely was an indication to white America to drop your bullshit and just call the man by what he wants to be called. And that's the way I say it. Like, whatever you want you to be, fine. Like, just, I think we went a little overboard with the whole pronoun thing, right? But call people by their names. It means a lot. It means a lot. And Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali were a perfect example of that. Like, I know for a fact if this were happening in modern times, you'd have a guy like Clay Travis be like, "No, we're not changing. No, we're not. Your name is Cassius. We're not calling you what you want to be called." But you called Hulk Hogan what he wanted to be called instead of Terry Bolla or whatever his name was. So we pick and choose who we give this grace to. And for racist people, they have trouble picking who to choose to. I'm not even saying that Clay Travis is a racist person, but he certainly sells racism professionally through the prism of sports. That's what he does. That's his angle. Congratulations. He cornered the market. Today in 1988, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre brought to MTV Yo MTV Raps. Yo MTV Raps premiered today in 1988 on MTV. I mean, when you talk about all the MTV shows that I watched like regularly, that was one of them. I loved Yo MTV Raps. Loved it. It was great. This is when MTV actually used to play videos with music in it. You should have been there. It was something else. Zolfmus, by the way, just echoing, makes a difference with kids as a teacher. You get the buy-in. Names are important. Names are important. They really are. They really are. I remember, I don't remember a lot of my teachers' names. I don't. From like high school, middle school, I don't even remember. But I remember Mr. LeClaire, who was the principal of Oneida Middle School. And then when I went from 8th grade to 9th grade, when I went from Oneida to Linton High School, he got a promotion too, and he became the principal. The principal of my middle school became the principal of my high school the same year that I made the transition. He made the transition too. And Mr. LeClaire's strong point was he knew every kid's name. Everybody. He knew everybody's name. And that son of a bitch goes to a high school with like 2,000 kids in it, and he instantly knew everybody's name. It was incredible. Guy must have been studying yearbooks or something. Carson Daly. See, I didn't watch a lot of MTV. What was that? Live or whatever, Dial MTV, whatever that was. I didn't watch a lot of it at all. I was a little bit too old for MTV by then. Chef A, call me anything except late to dinner. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Oneida, Linton, Native American tribe. Look, Schenectady is full. Where I grew up in upstate New York, it's, all the Mohawk. This is lots of Native American references in what things were named in upstate New York. So yes, down with the Indians. I never heard an Indian say that the word Indian was offensive, so I still go with Indian. And now, the single most thing that I can tell you today on a nice, sunny, warm day outside, it is National Root Beer Float Day. I love a root beer float. First of all, I love root beer. I don't know if it's even in play, but you know the Toronado on Lower Haight? The Toronado is one of the great tap bars in all of San Francisco. They got all sorts of great, hard to find, really delicious, yummy beers on tap. If you're a beer fan, you know the Toronado on Lower Haight. One of the things that they also usually have in there is some sarsaparilla. And sarsaparilla is, the cousin of root beer. Get yourself a sarsaparilla. Before you start drinking your beers, get one sarsaparilla the next time you go into the Toronado. It's not alcoholic. It's a soda, but it's so good. I love root beer. I'm a huge root beer guy. Like to me, it's Coke, cherry Coke, root beer. And then I prefer I guess a Mountain Dew before I prefer an orange soda. I'm not even a big soda guy, but if we got to go in that order, that's the order I would go. I love root beer. Today's National Root Beer Float Day. So, scoop ice cream, sunny day, can't go wrong. Thank you so much for watching today. It means a lot that you spent some of your time with me. Thank you very, very much. Hit like and subscribe. Again, thanks to everyone for getting us over 46,000 subscribers. And the goal is to reach 50 by the bye week. That's an aggressive goal. But again, it's football season. If you ain't aggressive during football season, when are you going to be? So hopefully you can help me reach that goal by telling your friends about this, by sharing this video. Thank you so very much for being a part of today's live stream. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone.